Hey, what's up guys? It's Joey Jacobs here with cameraman Dan and the Audis. This is the second video that I'm making about the Audi trailer, and in this video we should go more into detail about the major components of the trailer, like the wiring, the tongue, and the air suspension. So what's the first thing you gotta do when you want to tow a trailer? You gotta get a tow hitch. I spent a little while researching tow hitches for this car, and none of them really looked the best to me. They hung too low, they didn't look really good, so I hit up my sponsors at Torque Lift Central. I got myself an eco hitch from them. It is by far the best looking hitch out there for the B8 Audis, so that's what I went with. Okay, so this hitch has been very strong in my ownership of it. It is held on by 6 bolts going into the frame of the vehicle, and it is the best looking hitch out there. So now let's get into the wiring about the Audi trailer. So first, let's look at the wiring I have in my car. And as you can see, I have installed a CURT wiring harness that gets signal from both taillights and gives me the needed wiring for the Audi trailer. Also, the taillights on the B8 Audis are STT taillights, which stands for stop, turn, and taillight. So once I got the wiring down with my car, I had to start wiring the Audi trailer itself. So this connector has 4 wires on it. I don't exactly remember what wire was what, but one of the wires is a ground, the other one is the taillight, one is the brake light, and the other one is the turn signals. Trying to wire the taillights on the Audi trailer was kind of difficult. I had to use an ammeter to test on my car what wires had voltage running through them to each one of the taillights, and I ended up wiring the taillights to the top bulbs in each taillights, and I wired the brake lights to the bottom bulb that would usually be the reverse lights. So let's take a look inside the Audi trailer to see how I did the wiring. So for the inside taillights, I ran a wire from in the trunk up through the top, and I hooked up all of these wires to the taillights I used the ammeter to figure out how much voltage was going through each one of these, and that allowed me to hook these up and then for them to work. And then if you look down here, I have wires running all the way from the front into the back to the taillights, and they're spliced in to the taillight wires. So as I said before, the Audi trailer is on air suspension, and I was luckily able to get a sponsorship through Airlift Performance. Shout out to them, they make great products. And the install for the bags on the Audi trailer, it was pretty easy. I only had to put the struts in, it was only like 1 or 2 hours, and then all the wiring for the management was like another couple hours. It was really easy and just your typical air suspension install. So I know you're probably wondering what my trunk setup looks like in the Audi trailer. I actually don't have a trunk setup because I like to use my cars, so I put everything under the false floor, and as you can see, you have your Airlift Performance 3P right here, your Viair 444C compressor, and a 4-gallon seamless air tank. One thing that I had to think about when installing the air suspension in the Audi trailer is how it's going to get power. I ended up routing power to the battery that is usually in the back of the Audi trailer, and then I used the remote turn-on wire. I wired that into the tail light wiring so that the management will only turn on if my car is attached to the trailer electrically and if there is a battery in the back of the trailer. And lastly, I want to show you guys how I made the tongue of the Audi trailer. So this is how the tongue of the Audi trailer started off. I knew I wanted to weld the tongue between the frame rails, so I made this according to that. I got everything measured, cut, and tack welded together in my garage. Then it was time to get the tongue welded onto the Audi trailer. It was very important that the tongue was level and square to the vehicle. To achieve this, we first leveled the car trailer that the Audi trailer was on, then we leveled the Audi trailer, and then we finally leveled the tongue. Once we got everything positioned where I wanted it, it was time to start welding. Then, once the tongue was welded on, I cut off what was left of the frame rails. We welded plates onto the cut frame rails to add strength. I added a slanted vertical support to help with the structural integrity of the tongue. Here are some more pictures of the tongue to show the completed process. Once we got the tongue of the trailer all finished, we started working on the Sheetmetal Front-End. There was still some cutting that needed to be done, so we tackled that first. You can see that everything was cut off in this picture. Then we cut all of the sheet metal to the sizes and shapes I needed them to be. Once we got the sheet metal cut, it was time to weld it onto the Audi trailer. Here are some pictures of the finished sheet metal on the Audi trailer. So that's it for today's video on the Audi trailer. I just wanted to give you guys some more details as to how I made it happen. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos about the Audi trailer, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified for when I upload new videos. So this has been Joey Jacobs with Cameraman Dan and the Audis signing off. I'm gonna get these things back in the garage before they get too snowy, and we will see you in the next one.